Alright, now that we've talked about stress and stress type a little bit, we're going to move into laughing at yourself. So it is vitally important that you laugh at yourself. These two individuals that I'm with in this picture in Okinawa are both practitioners of laughter yoga. One is actually a laughter yoga. The woman on the far left in the picture is a laughter yoga teacher. So she runs a class in Naha, Okinawa for laughter yoga. And I was quite surprised when we were going to take a picture, and then they both started laughing hysterically just as they were about to take the picture. And while I was quite surprised by that, it also made me laugh too, because hearing other people laugh as rambunctiously or raucously or joyously as they were really makes you want to laugh as well. And you know, it's when you are able to laugh at yourself, you are able to see that you are human, and you are able to be happy even though you are human. When you're able to laugh at yourself, it really allows you to maintain your perspective. You are going to mess things up. It's part of the human condition that you're going to fail. It's recognizing that is a win, not a lose situation. Being able to laugh at yourself for different kinds of situations, for different kinds of reasons, it's really part of knowing what you're good for and knowing what your best is in that situation. So if you did your best and you really screwed things up, hopefully nobody got hurt too badly, and if they did, then you can work on that as well. But in any case, no matter what the situation was, laughter is the best medicine. There are so many different physiological and anatomical things that happen when you laugh, as well as mental and psychological, that putting yourself in positions where you're going to laugh, particularly at yourself, is extremely helpful and highly recommended. This section is about learning to love the challenge, and it's not so much learning how to love all challenges, it's learning how to love the right challenge. So if your challenge, quote unquote, is such that you're always green, you're not really being challenged, and you're actually going to get bored fairly quickly. However, if you're always red, then that's not really a challenge that you need to grow to love either, because you're just feeling frustrated and overwhelmed with yourself. You don't have to push yourself off of cliffs to achieve great things. It doesn't. There are times in which that is necessary and when it may be very helpful to achieving great things, but it's generally not the best long-term sustainable strategy for how to create things or maintain things or learn things in such a way that it's an ideal challenge for you. So really, the best challenge and the challenge that you do want to learn to love is that yellow, that sweet spot where it's right at the edge where you have to fake it a little bit, but you're not overwhelmed by doing so. When you're in that zone, then you're growing. If you're like me though, and you have a hard time finding that sweet spot of a yellow challenge, go ahead and jump off the cliffs. But when you jump off the cliffs and put yourself into the red challenge zone, stay with that challenge until it becomes not a yellow, but a fully green. Wait until you are actually bored with it, so that just a little bit, so that you have some time to actually recover from that red challenge, so that you're not constantly red all the time. An example of this that I do, I have a really hard time finding a yellow challenge with language learning. I just always want to know everything now, and even though I have goals that I set in advance, it's hard to kind of hold myself to that, and I always feel like I'm not doing good enough. So I've given into that and recognized that, and started giving myself red challenges, but then staying with them. My most recent one is that I deleted the English-Chinese input on my iPhone. So there's two different ways that you can put in Chinese characters on your phone. You can either type in the English letters, and it pulls those, turns those into you can choose which Chinese character it puts it onto, or you can type in the Taiwanese characters, and it changes that into the Chinese characters. So I decided that I was going to kick myself off of the using English input and use only Taiwanese input, so that I could communicate more easily with my Taiwanese friends. That was quite a challenge when I first did it. In fact, I was terrified and I made myself publicly accountable, and I told 3 people that I'm going to do this tonight after I have a session with my language partner specifically dedicated to this topic. And after that language session, my language partner said, all right, now you got to delete it. So I deleted it off of my phone. It's at about a yellow right now, so I'm not taking on any additional challenges. So I am working with the Taiwanese alphabet on my phone, and as soon as that becomes a green, then I will take on some new challenges. To play. We tend to take life very seriously, and oftentimes many of us perfectionists, people that are trying to do incredible things, forget to play. And this is not a green, yellow, red zone thing. This is during your unstructured time. This is something that you take the time to get to know, explore your environment, both inner and outer. So when you have your unstructured time, it's really helpful to act like a kid. See things that you may marvel at, that you may find wonderful, or you may wonder about, like a child would. And it really enriches your life when you take the time to play, either through movement, exercise, or mental activities where you're learning new things at a museum or at a park. So in order to keep those creative juices flowing and keep the love flowing, I recommend you play more.